Hi and welcome to the WOOLapyk podcast. My name is Ida and this is a podcast about knitting. Today I have one finished object and two works in progress. We are gonna start with the finished object, which is not really weather appropriate. It has been very warm here in Denmark. I live in Denmark for these last, well, most of May actually, and I have been working on a warm sweater, which is this one. This is the EUN sweater, or EUN sweater by November Knits, and I have been working on this for, I don't know, more than a year I think. I cast it on, worked on it, and then if you've seen my previous podcast, was debating whether or not to frock it because I just didn't really enjoy the knitting process, or there was not really a good flow in the knitting of the sweater. But then for some reason, and I don't know why, I just decided that I wanted this to be finished. I wanted it off my needles. I also wanted to use the yarn, and then I have just been working away on it and it has been fine. I decided to go up a needle size, so the yoke part up here is knit on a US 5 millimeter. No, US 5, not millimeter. US 5, no, 5 millimeter, which is a US 8, I think. So a 5 millimeter needle, and it just didn't feel like it was too tight. I think the fabric was just too tight. I had a hard time. The needles, or the stitches didn't really they were kind of sticking to the needle, and I just decided to go up a needle size after I knit the yoke. I figured, like I said, I just wanted to get this finished, and yeah, I just wasn't really that worried about it, being visible. The yarn is a 100% wool yarn. I held two strands together, so one was I don't think I have the label now, but one was an Yngling yarn, 100% Danish wool, quite rustic, and the other yarn was a Snelden, which is a yarn from the Faroe Island, so that was also quite rustic, and it blooms a lot, so you can't tell. So it's around here. I switched the needles. I also made sure to just increase an extra round here on the sleeves, so that if there was any difference you wouldn't really see it because of those less stitches on the needle. So here it is, all done. You can see here it is also visible, this color difference in real life, but not nearly as much as it is on camera. But I was working away on the front piece here, and then I ran out of yarn, and I found another skein of yarn, and I thought that was I ran out of the Yngling yarn, and I found another skein, and I thought that was the Yngling yarn, but it turned out that was the Snelden. So this piece right down here is just two strands of Snelden, and I was supposed to have one strand of each, so that's why there's this difference. I found out around here, and I was like, this is just a sweater that I want to get off my needles. I don't really care. I don't know how much I'm gonna get, how much wear I'm gonna get out of the sweater, and I just wanted it to be done, so I didn't really care. I just continue knitting, and you can see it, but not nearly as much as you can here, but there is a difference. I don't mind. You see, here's the back. This is what it was supposed to look like. There is a wide split hem here on the side, which is kind of what drew me to the pattern. I really love split hems, and this one is just very big and lovely and dramatic, and the yarn works very well for this pattern. Because of the split hem, it does get kind of loose and drapey, and I thought that in order for it to not be too floppy, because there is no, there's no seam or anything here, so there's nothing really to hold the fabric, that a rustic yarn would be a good thing, and I think I was right about that. As you can see, it holds itself quite well. Yeah, what else? Yeah, the sleeves. I decided to do quite a bit extra increases on the sleeves because I did not want them to be too wide. I was just looking through my sweaters, the ones that I have already and wear, and they all have extremely wide sleeves. And it's like the more I wear them, the wider they get. And I don't mind wide sleeves, I like them. But I also would like a sweater that is just a little more fitted. So I decided to do some extra increases or decreases for the sleeves. What else? The sweater is knit top down. Start at the top, you knit the yoke, and then you split for front and back here. I wish I had knit longer so that I had waited a bit with splitting front and back, because the line right here kind of sits right here, so in the middle of my chest, and it looks weird. So I wish I had waited with that for, yeah, just maybe 5 centimeters. So I would have knit 5 centimeters of stockinette stitch and then started the ribbing. I don't know how much I'm gonna wear this sweater because of that kind of odd shape. And I've just decided that this is just gonna be a nice warm house sweater for me to wear at home. And maybe I'm gonna love it. Maybe I'm gonna wear it a ton outside, and that's gonna be fine too, of course. But I think it's just gonna be my cozy home sweater. And I could probably knit another one of these. I mean, I probably won't because I rarely knit the same thing twice. But if I did, I would make sure to knit just a little bit longer here of the stockinette stitch before beginning the ribbing, just for my body size. I have a long torso, so I don't think it's a problem for other people, but because my torso is kind of long, then I need extra length in some areas apparently. So it is done, and I'm happy I continued, and that I just kind of powered through to get it done. And just happy to have that yarn over my stash. I've had that yarn for a long time in my stash, so just to get that out of my stash feels good. I know, like I said, it'll be a house sweater, maybe a going to the wood sweater or making a bonfire sweater as well, but maybe not a going out in town sweater. I may change my mind. I have 2 works in progress. The first one is small for now, and that is the December bow by Petite Knit. I'm gonna use this as a hairpiece. Originally the pattern was made for a like Christmas decoration thing, so a bow that you hang on the Christmas tree or anywhere really. But I saw Petite Knit and other people have also made them into a hairpiece or like a hair clip. And I am getting married in a few weeks time, and I thought it would be nice to, well, Jakob and I are married in City Hall, but we are gonna get like married in a church in a few weeks. And I just thought it would be fun to have a, what's it called? Knitted piece to wear. I just got distracted because I remember I was talking about something else I was gonna knit in the last podcast, which is I'm gonna show you that first before I show you the December bow. So in my last podcast I was also talking about the wedding and how I wanted to knit a top, and I have talked about this a lot on the vlog, so I'm not gonna get too much into detail here. But long story short, I had trouble with finding the gauge, which a very nice person has helped me with, but it's not gonna be in time for me to finish the top before the wedding. So I did do a gauge swatch. I couldn't figure out how to find out what gauge it was, the gauge swatch, and I just cast on, crossing my fingers, hoping that it would work out. It didn't. I'm gonna show you now. It did not work out. So here is the top. You can see it is quite big. for a top with negative ease, which is what it's supposed to be. It's fine for a regular sweater, but for a top with negative ease, this is just too much. So I have knitted, I knit this far. You knit it from the bottom up, so I knit bottom up, and I'm just at the second let's see, at the second eyelet row here. I'm gonna rip it all back out, but yeah, that was a bit of a bummer, but my outfit has changed since then as well, so it's okay, it's okay. But I do want to knit the top. I think it's gonna be a very fun top, like just a combination of a kind of lace top, which is kind of vintage or has like an old-fashioned feel to it, and then this very bright yarn, which is blood orange from Knitting for Olive. I just find that to be a very fun pairing. But yeah, just wanted to show you that it's not gonna happen because it's too big. Then I decided to knit back to the December bow, which is here. Well, the beginning of it is here. And I thought I would knit that and have that in my hair for the wedding. I actually also knit this color, but then I thought maybe I like this color better, and now I don't know, I kind of like this color too. So maybe I'm gonna knit both of them and then decide which one I'm gonna use. This one has like more of a sky blue, and this one has like a slight purple undertone, kind of like a periwinkle. So I'm gonna knit this one first. And I was thinking, the yarn is old. I think it's a yarn from WOOL, and I bought that at Fanø Knitting Festival at least 8 years ago. And I'm sorry if you're on Patreon, I'm gonna repeat myself here, but I'm gonna do it quickly. But yeah, I got it 8 years ago, and I thought the wedding is not gonna be traditional at all. I'm not gonna go down the aisle. I'm not gonna have a big white dress or anything. So I'm not really that into the traditional things for wedding, but I kind of like the idea of having something old, which is the yarn, and then having something blue, which is also the yarn, and then having something new, which is the knitted piece that I knit from the old yarn. So it's like a 3-in-1. I thought that was fun. Yeah, so not much else to show you right now. I just started it, and I'm gonna work away on it. Hopefully I can make one for Esther as well. She really wants to be part of the wedding, which is kind of cute. In this color I was thinking, which is also WOOL yarn. Bought it at the same time as I bought these. I was also thinking about this one, but I'm not going to use this. Yeah, that is the first work in progress. I forgot to mention that the original pattern has you holding a strand of fingering weight and then a strand of silk mohair together, and you knit on a 3.5mm needle. But she recommends, if you want to do the bow for your hair, or if you want it to be just a tiny bit smaller, to knit it with just a single strand of a fingering weight yarn and then a 3mm needle. So that's what I'm doing. And yeah, I'm kind of excited about it. I'm not gonna do my hair. I have my sister-in-law who said she would be happy to do something with my hair, so she's gonna do that, and hopefully this can fit in somehow into that. If not, it's not gonna really gonna matter. I can always use it another time. Okay, finished with that December bow. The last work in progress I'm gonna show you in a minute. I'm just knitting because I am in the middle of a row, but I am working on the, oh my god, what's the name? Let me just see. Carla Cape by Anne Wenzel, which is a pattern that she has made in collaboration with Isa Yarn. Isa has a collection out called the Archives collection. I think it's called the Archives collection. And there are so many beautiful patterns in there. but I really just kind of fell for this collar cape, and I also had quite a bit of the yarn already in my stash. Not the original yarn for the pattern, but yarn that was the same thickness basically. So I'm using a yarn from Lang Yarns. I think it's called Faith, which is a blow yarn, and the original pattern uses a Isa yarn. I think it's the Eco Soft yarn, and then held together with another Isa yarn. And I had 10 skeins of this blow yarn from Lang Yarns, and I thought that was perfect, so I could use that for the cape. And then you need a contrast color, because it's a colorwork cape, but it is also just done with slip stitches, so you don't really hold 2 strands together at the same time at all. It's very simple. But I just found a white blow yarn from what's it called? Self-Made, and I found a white stash yarn that I had, a fingering weight stash wool yarn from Biche Bouche, which is, I think it's a lamb's wool, a white lamb's wool. So I'm holding those together, and then I'm holding the Lang Yarns together, this one together, again with some yarn from Self-Made, so these two together. And I am knitting away. I'm gonna be there soon. But it is a cape, so it kind of has a bit of a kimono feel with like wide sleeves and 3/4 length sleeves as well. I think I am gonna try and modify it a bit, so the sleeves are gonna be a little narrower and maybe also longer. I don't know, I'll see. I think I'm gonna try it on as I knit it to see how long I want it to be, but for me, I think I would get more wear out of it if it had longer sleeves, or basically like full length sleeves. But I don't know if it's gonna look weird with wide long sleeves, which is also why I'm thinking about making them narrower. She has made another pattern, like a sister pattern to this collar cape, which is called a collar cardigan, that basically has those narrower sleeves. And you know, I should probably just have waited to get the collar cardigan pattern instead, and then I could have made that in a longer version, but I was impatient and I just wanted to cast it on, so I bought the collar cape instead, because that pattern came out before the collar cardigan. But I have joined front and back. I can't remember how much I showed you the last time, or how far I was. I have not been knitting on this a lot because I've been working a lot on this one. Like I said, I just wanted to get this off my needle, so I've been working a lot on this. And then I've also been working a lot on this one that's not gonna really be anything. But I do think I've made some progress. I hope I have, since last time I showed you. So, here it is. Or maybe I haven't. We'll see. So this is as far as I have gotten. And I don't know if I can kind of put it on. The needles are not long enough for me to really stretch it out. But, let's see. No, you can't really see. So, here it is. Has a drop shoulder, as you can see, and then it has quite wide sleeves. I joined this down here for the sleeves, so they are quite wide. I'm thinking about maybe if I could just seam it a little bit here under the arms and then knit. I think I'm gonna have to block the body first and then see what it looks like, because it also has to work with the pattern. It's like I think it's a 6-stitch pattern repeat here, so it would have to work with that if I made the sleeves shorter. But the sleeves are just knit, as far as I can tell, without any decreases. I actually have not I have not read about I have not read about the sleeves yet in the pattern, but I'm assuming that it's just a straightforward knitting with no decreases, and then you finish off with a ripping or rip. Like I said last time, and I think the time before, if you want to knit a colorwork pattern and you're not really feeling like doing real colorwork, then definitely do this one. It's such a simple, fun way to do it. You just, you slip stitches which I mean, if you can knit, you can also slip a stitch. So if you can knit a regular sweater in stockinette stitch, you can knit this for sure. So go ahead if you want to try this out. And that is all. Wow, that was quick. Perfect. I don't really know what I'm gonna cast on next. I've been talking a bit about thinking about casting on the Colette pullover by Sari Nordlund. I've seen a lot of those on Instagram lately, and I just love that pattern. Also drop shoulders with a simple cable, with like all over cable pattern. But it looks simple. So maybe I'm gonna cast that on next time. I have some yarn that I could use, but we'll see. I'm gonna sign off now because we are gonna leave soon. So I will talk to you next month, and thank you for watching. Bye. I am just popping in here to show you a few skeins of yarn that I currently have in the shop. I am running a sale at the moment, which is 20% off of all yarn, and the code is Yay May. I'm gonna pop it in here on the screen or down in the comment box. But these are all my superwash yarns. I'm saying all, but I have these and maybe a few more, so I don't have that many left. This is Dream Dust, the Dream Dust color. I'm just gonna see if it's better here. Oh, here I can see it better. So this is Dream Dust. It's just a light purple with sort of a pinkish undertone with some turquoise blue speckles. Then I have Astronaut Training. You can see here, gray with yellows and golden colors. I have Chesterfield right here. I think, oh yeah, it is Chesterfield. Then I have what's this called? Sylphie. I actually really love this. I'm not really usually that much into purples, but I kind of like this one a lot actually. And then I have what's this called? Funfetti. Double check in here. Yeah, Funfetti. Also a really fun colorway. And this is, I don't know why I can't get this to focus. So it's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, and 425 meters per 100 grams. So these are in the shop, all with 20% off. I was supposed to run the sale through May, but we're now at the end of May, so I'm going to extend it a bit so that you can actually use the code if you want to. Because I think this is not going to be up for another few days on YouTube. I also found these, which are all superwash as well, same base. This one I have more of, so more than one. This is called Tutu, and that is a light pink with some yellows in there, a bit of gray as well. And then I have these three, which are from different advent calendars during the years, and I've kept them for myself, but I just have so much yarn, so I actually don't think I'm gonna get use them anytime soon. So they're not in the shop, but if you want to buy them, the price is the same as the other, as for this base, and you can just contact me. Probably on Instagram would be the best way to leave me a comment if you want to get your hands on either one of these. I only have these three left. These are a few of the non-superwash yarns. This is 100% non-superwash merino wool, 400 meters per 100 grams, and these are all 20% off, as all the yarn in the shop. I have a swimming pool here. Then I have Art Nouveau, have Titicaca, Taylor from Taylor Swift, Katla, and then I have Penny here. So these are all available in the shop as well. I also found just a few of skeins of yarn that are either more solid or semi-solid. So I have Kapow here, a lovely red. I love this red. Then I have Red Brick Road, and then I have Blueberry Haze. And the last thing I'm going to show you are my singles. I have these 5 singles available, and the chunky alpaca. So this is a chunky alpaca that runs 100 meters per 100 grams. This is retro swimwear. Then I have Astronaut Training, Olive You here. Then for the singles, which runs 366 meters per 100 grams, this is Pink Delight, just a light pink. Then I have Silver Fox, Peppermint Top. It was my parents and Jakob actually named these. Peppermint Top, Pastel Candy. I really like this one. I think it would be fun with a green, like a mint green. Slip more hair. And I think it says either Dulce Plum or Deuce Plum. I don't know. Actually, I can't read that. But yeah, these are all also available. I do have other colorways than what you see here. Not a ton, but they are there, and you're more than welcome to go have a look. I'm gonna write all the discount code, Yay May. I'm just gonna write it on the screen as well, and you can find it in my Etsy shop. And I am probably gonna run it until mid-June, maybe a little earlier. I don't know. I'm gonna write it on the screen as well, so you can see how long it's gonna go for.